Alright guys, we're doing a grass flap unboxing and installation. We'll get right to it. Pretty normal packaging. In here, you should find grass flap stuff. The instructions, I already know what to do. Thank you. See? Very appreciative company. You'll find your cable. You'll use that later. Your foot pedal. Some hardware. Your first piece you're going to install. And your grass flap itself. First, we're gonna take off this little jobby. You'll need a 9/16, two 9/16 socket and wrench. Zip that right off. Should just pull right out. Take off that, gives you a little room. You'll put it on the outside of this side and the outside of this side. These should have your 9/16 nuts on them. You'll have a square side, and that's where you'll put your bolt. Thread that sucker on. Nice thing about grass flaps is no drilling in your mower deck. Tilt tight. I ain't going nowhere. So after you get your mounting bracket on, you want to grab your grass flap. And this, you'll need the other these kind of bolts. Carriage bolts. And stick these in from the bottom. You want to leave that pretty loose because you want to adjust this to fit the deck just right. Next, you want to check for fitment around front here. You want to adjust it. Get both sides. You can take your feet and get that on there. Perfectly flush. Now if that's tight and fitting good, it's not really fitting that well. After you get it on, make sure you're taking a look, see if there's any gap. See how there's a little gap there? It's not a big deal, but you want to get it right the first time.
Set up as well as possible.
That'll just keep your grass clippings more contained, which is probably why you're putting this on in the first place. Just loosen those up a little bit, doesn't have to be much. This one was a little bit too tight. Dude, I don't think that's going to. There it is. Oh look, there's a weld. See that weld? Might knock that off. Thanks, Exmark. Check for fitment, get it right. Hopefully the first time. Tighten those down. Next, you want to grab your spring. And you want to take this bolt off right here. You'll need a 1/2-inch wrench. I'll take that off. Put this on over the nut. That way it can move. That's for another adjustment when you get all this installed. I kind of like to start it off first, kind of level. Next, you want to attach your spring that goes on this little rod right here. For this, I use the zip tie. And just grab it, get it on there, pull it off. Next, you want to take your cable, and this will be the piece that comes on it, the clasp. And you want to take this, and you can feed it down through there. And that'll go in on the other side where the chute will go, or where the foot pedal will go anyways. You'll have to take off this little boot, unthread this nut, take off this nut, feed it through with the cable in that hole, and thread it back on. Very carefully. Grab your 1/2-inch wrench. Give that a little tighten. You'll probably have to adjust it later as the cable stretches. Next, you'll have to get in this little yellow bag. Get all the stuff out of there. And you'll use this little bronze piece and you'll put it right in this little hole right there. Then you'll take your smaller key and your cotter key. I like to feed it away so the cotter key's not in the way of the spring. So you line that up. Stick it through. Stick the key in. You want to take your needle nose pliers and just give it a little bend. Doesn't really matter how you have that. It's just keeping this pin from falling out. Then you can put your boot back on.
Alright, now that we're in the back, we're going to back off this nut. That will allow us to slide it in through the back. And we'll go ahead and tighten that back up. Go ahead and hit that with a wrench. 1/2 inch. Just get that snugged up. You want to make sure that your flap is open up in the air in the back. That'll give you some extra cable to work with. We'll go ahead and take the spring off to give us a little extra. We'll go ahead and finagle the slitted one through. All right, and then we're gonna run the pin through there to connect it. There we go. And then we'll take our cotter key and put it through the hole so we don't lose that pin. And go ahead and take our needle nose and we'll bend that cotter key back. All right, get that bent back. And we'll go ahead and reattach our spring. And then our foot pedal is assembled. Now we're gonna find our mounting location. So what we'll do is, it's personal preference, but we always like to put it in the middle. So you go just count your dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is your middle right here. We like to use our right foot, so we're gonna put it to the left a little bit. It makes it a little easier to get. So we're gonna put it right here. This is something you don't have to do, but we always do. We like to get a little angle on the pedal. So we'll drill. So we'll drill this a little bit. And our battery wants to die on us, of course. Our first will go in this right here. Then our second one will get in this hole. Now we'll just let it offset a little bit. All right, so now we'll take the regular bolts, not the carriage bolts, and we'll go ahead and run it through. And we'll put that through our first hole, just in the 4. And then we'll put our nut on the bottom. All right, get it started. And our second one, go ahead and run that guy through and get our nut started. Again, this is gonna be a 1/2 inch. And then you'll take your 1/2 inch wrench and we'll go ahead and get this one started. Double check my shit. Alright, they're both good. And then as you can see, we were able to get at a little bit of an angle, is which we prefer, versus just perfectly straight. Just a minor adjustment. Now we'll just run our cable exactly how we want it. We put ours through a little hole in the middle, and then I just wrap it around to the other side of the deck and bring it up through. And then we just zip tie it off in a couple places up here, making sure to keep it away from anything that's gonna get hot. And then it'll just wrap around and then into your chute as we showed earlier. So then just run a couple zip ties, get everything held back, and you'll be good. So we'll go ahead and make sure it works. Good to show you guys. There it is. And then one thing we love about these grass flaps is they're always perfectly flush. So it's mounted perfectly flush with the deck, so it's not gonna stick out. And when it's up, it's at a 90, and it's past the outside of your deck, so it's not gonna lean forward like a lot of other brands do and snag on a fence, just whatever can get in the way, then they get bent up. So that's what we love about these. They're perfectly straight, do a great job, and they keep your debris out of your beds and everything. So that's kind of a wrap on these. So that's it. Thanks for watching.